What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you a guide on Shen, the Eye of the Twilight in the top lane. So without further ado, let's get into some of his abilities. This guide is going to be short. This was a 22-minute surrender, but as you guys will see at the end of the clip, this clip ends at around 21 minutes due to low replay having some corrupted files here and there. So you guys aren't missing much in the last 30 seconds that got cut out of the replay, but a bulk of what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to discuss about a Shen top lane will be able to be demonstrated in this video. So let's get into his abilities. His passive, Key Strike. Every 9 seconds, Shen's basic attack restores 10 energy and deals 8 plus a percentage of Shen's bonus health as bonus magic damage, and each time Shen auto-attacks a minion or a champion, Key Strike's cooldown is reduced by 1 second. And we'll get into how you can reduce that by 2 seconds in a little bit. Worpal Blade. This is the skill that I choose to max first. This deals 60 plus 4 magic damage. I believe this scales 60% with AP. To a target and marks them for 5 seconds. Allied spells and attacks against this target heal the attacker. So meaning this can heal your allies as well, for 17, which is 6 plus a percent of your max health over 3 seconds. And the flat healing increases over level as well. And killing an enemy with a Worpal Blade, just killing a minion or last hitting a champion with your Worpal Blade, that will end up giving you a flat amount of health as opposed to a larger amount of health over 3 seconds. So Worpal Blade is typically the one I want to take first. I want to use it for a leash if my jungler needs it. Usually 2 autos and a Worpal Blade. So there's my auto, Worpal auto, and that's going to be healing her up for the duration of that. And my Worpal Blade is going to be a main form of harass in this lane, especially against a Tryndamere who I'm not going to be able to really duel with until I'm level 3 or 4. His next ability, Feint. Feint is a active shield absorbing 60 plus 4 damage, and this scales with 60% AP as well, and it lasts up to 3 seconds. While Feint holds, his attacks reduce Key Strike's cooldown by an additional 1 second. So as you can see here, I'm getting in Worpal Blades every time they're off cooldown, and if I can, while he goes to CS a minion, so like right when he's going to CS that minion, if I didn't have a minion to CS right there, I would have harassed him with an auto attack. You're going to see a couple instances where he goes for a CS, and I choose to hit him with a Worpal Blade and try and hit him with an auto attack if I'm within range. Right here, I should be dancing around right here, and I do move into position right at the right time, and I'm able to trade with him, and I actually come out a little bit ahead on that trade. So right here you just see me passively farm. Let's go into his Shadow Dash. Shadow Dash, Shen dashes in the direction, dealing 50 plus 4 magic damage to champions and taunting champions he collides with for 1.5 seconds. Taunted enemies are forced to attack Shen and reduce their attacks by 50%. And this restores 40 damage per champion hit. So if you hit 3 champions, it's like never casted the spell, baby. But so typically what you want to do in this matchup, especially a Trynd versus a Shen, you're not going to be a lot stronger than him, but when you choose to taunt and when you choose to use your Key Strike and initiating while you have Key Strike up, that's going to be the difference between you winning the lane and you losing the lane. So right there, just hitting a Worpal Blade. Right here, I mess up a lot with the CS. I don't get much of this wave. With Shen, it's weird. With Shen, without a Key Strike, you need to auto-attack a minion, auto-attack melees, 2 turret hits, and then auto-attack again. For caster minions, you need to auto, let turret hit, auto. Right there, right after he taunted, or right after he did his little mocking shout on me, I knew he didn't want to keep trading with me, and he was about to back off, so I taunted him right at the last second. So he would take minion aggro and have my Worpal Blade on him, and I'm using Feint at the same time. So as you can see, I was able to get a good amount of damage off onto him, definitely coming out ahead on that trade. Now you notice I have a lot of minions right now, and where I should be standing is, I should be standing right around here, trying to push him upward so that I can take control of the river so he has no opportunities to ward. I'm assuming he's already warded because I know that he was shoving me out, And as blue side, I can stay with low health just because I'm not going to be ganked as much compared to purple side, where if you stay with low health, the opportunity for dive is much more prevalent. So right here, Skarner basing, so we see that. Actually, we don't see that, it's not on the board. But pretty soon right here, I push out my wave, and because I pushed out my wave, I wasn't sure if Skarner was back or not, but I did tell my jungler, hey, let's go counter jungle, or let's try and get a kill on Skarner, because we did see him in the mid lane, but we did not know that he based. We knew that he was mid lane and went upwards, so we knew he was going to be in the top half jungle. And typically after junglers base, they like to go to wraiths for some reason, don't know why. So right here, we meet him at his wraiths. We're able to get a significant amount of damage off on him, drop him to about half health, and Morgana or Tryndamere kind of baits the Skarner into this fight. He was saying he was on his way, but Skarner wasn't aware of where Tryndamere was on the map, and he ends up going in too early. So Tryndamere's not able to back him up, and we also burned his flash too. Which, if you're already screwed like that, guys, don't bother flashing unless you know for sure the flash is going to get you out. Try and save your summoners as long as possible, because that's ultimately what's going to help you out. And let's go into Shen's ultimate ability. Stand United places a shield on target ally champion, absorbing 250 damage, plus 14. This scales 135% with AP. Magic or damage for 5 seconds. After channeling for 3 seconds, Shen teleports to the target location. So this ult has no cost, so that's important to know, and it's global as well. So I can ult to bot lane at any point. So Shen hitting level 6 is a huge pressure for the whole map. So you see right there. So by me hitting level 6, that allows the whole map to have kill potential, and it also forces the enemy team to kind of really think about how they decide to go in and when they decide to go in. So as Shen, you want to always keep an eye on your sidebars. So right there, I got a ping that Zyra was low. However, I'm not going to go to Zyra since she's already dead. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Tristana instead and shield her for an increased trade. So right here, Jinx is getting away. I don't want to burn my flash. I want to wait as long as I can. My taunt is almost up, and for some reason, she decides to go back and try and zap, but zap is not effective. And right here, I see that his blue buff is up, so by TPing to top lane, I have freedom to push out this lane with no problem whatsoever. Because Skarner, as a jungler, needs to take care of his blue buff, or he needs to give his blue buff over to his mid laner. And since I saw that his blue buff was up, I knew that he was about to start being in the bot half jungle. And if you look right now, he can't really gank my lane. He can gank mid and he can gank bot. So everything points to the fact that he's going to be in the bot side. So I'm not really too scared about ganks right now. I am still getting pushed in, however. And not really much I can do. I'm just kind of passively farming, freezing the lane. Right here, just getting some farming down. And then Tryndamere takes a really bold decision right there, and if ever someone's in the line of your minions without their minions, just go ahead and taunt them, because your minions are going to be doing so much damage to him that you'll win that trade 9 times out of 10. So, right here, I'm just using my Worpal Blades to farm. If I need to, I will use it to harass as well, but that's typically only something that I do early game. I try and save my Worpal Blades for CSing towards the later half, but if I see a trade potential like that, then I will definitely use my Worpal Blade on him. So right now I'm just kind of passively farming. I really have nothing to do. I'm very low health. Trynd has 1 base on me because when I did ult bot, I TP'd straight to top because he was going to push Tara, so he has a base advantage on me. So I don't want to go aggressive on him because all I have is the Doran shield, and he has a Bilgewater plus a ward. So he's going to have a little bit more of an advantage on me in lane, which is why I'm having such a hard time keeping up as far as my life is concerned. I can't really sustain up his damage as well as he can sustain mine. So I'm just trying to survive. But I can be greedy, again, like I said, because I am on purple side. It's going to be harder for Skarner to initiate a dive on purple side than it is going to be for him, or for blue side. Since I'm on blue side, I can be a little bit more greedy and stay longer. Compared to if I was purple side, Diana could just come up through there and dive me. So Diana's coming in for the gank right here. Tryndamere's just tunneling. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in slow motion. So Tryndamer already wasted his dash over to me, right? And he just flashed right there to try and get the kill off on me. So I already know he blew all his summoners. I'm going to toss my Worpal Blade onto him and just go ahead and dash out of there and let my Diana do as much of the work as she can. She's full health right now, but Skarner's coming in. Skarner's coming in to potentially clean up the Diana. Right now, Diana is in good enough health to where she can sustain most of it. I don't know if she needed a flash, probably negating some of Skarner's damage. So I mean, all's well. And right here, I'm trying to back up my Diana. She came in for the gank. I used my feint. My dash is not up, and one more auto attack, I would have died. So I go ahead and flash to cancel his auto attack on me. And what I do is I tell my Diana, "Hey, keep fighting. You can take him," because I know I have my ult up. So right here, I'm gonna wait for both of them to get low to let Skarner think it's a duel. But then by me using my ult right here, I basically baited out the Skarner into staying way too long. So Diana's able to pick up the kill there, and Morgana is coming in. So right when we see Morgana coming in, we're like, oh shoot, we got to get out of here. I mean, Morgana's ult is not up, but she goes ahead and flashes. If you're Morgana, don't flash like that. Wait till you're at the caster minions, then flash. Because the whole point of a flash is to get a flash binding, but if you flash into a minion wave, there's really not much you can do unless you have your ultimate. So because she flashed in like that, I had reason to believe that her ultimate was up, but you know, in reality it was not. But that's always something to keep in mind. If a Morgana flashes into you with the whole minion wave there, she might have her ultimate, so just be careful about that. But as a Morgana, try not to flash into a minion wave unless you have your ultimate. So right here, I tell my Diana, go ahead and push out this lane. I really need a base. I'm 3 bases down on Tryndamere right now. Or, yeah, no, 2 bases down. But with the early Sunfire pickup and a couple potions, I'm able to get slightly ahead of the Tryndamere. And Tryndamere does get the shutdown, and he does end up picking up double buffs here, I believe. So this is going to make my lane a little bit hard, but it's okay. So as Shen, a pretty core item is your Sunfire Cape. Because the Sunfire Cape is going to allow you to split push but still be a tank. Because Shen doesn't have a lot of innate spells to help him split push. He has no real AoE. He's really an auto attack based champion that deals magic damage. So you have to keep that in mind. So for having him split pushing, you want his Sunfire Cape in combination with your feint, and that's going to help you. That's going to help you split push a lot more. So right here, my Sunfire Cape is now doing. My Sunfire Cape takes care of the one auto that I need to weave in for me to get the melees and the casters under the turret. So right here, it's pretty even. I still don't want to trade with him because he does have a red buff. And right now he's doing the right thing. He's staying right here and he's keeping me from going to ward the river. Right here, I don't know what he was thinking trying to trade me there, but that was definitely a not worth the trade for him. So right there, I'm able to get the taunt off, and you notice because he pops his ult, I'm not trying to auto attack him. I'm trying to walk past him and see if I can position myself to a point where if he didn't have his spin, that I'd be able to taunt him again after his ultimate was done. Because when Tryndamere has his ult, there's really no point in wasting time auto attacking him. You might as well just walk past him and try and make a play happen after his ultimate is over. So that's what I was trying to accomplish with that. Right here, I'm going to be getting a lot of damage off on the turret. Diana went ahead and proxied the upcoming minion wave, so we're able to beat down on this turret a good amount. And you see I'm going to start tanking a turret shot. Feint at level 1 will tank about 1 turret shot. And then obviously as it increases with levels, you're going to be able to tank a couple more shots. I think the max you can tank is 2 shots. Yeah, I think it's 2 shots. I mean, we can check. Let's see. That's probably not reliable. Let's go here. Okay. Yeah, it's got 0.8. So yeah, the most you can do is about 2 turret hits. your shield will just barely fall off for your third. But that's small nitty-gritty things. Right here, I don't know why I took the point in Shadow Dash. I think it was I was trying to use Shadow Dash, but I saw the point, so by muscle memory, I always go to Alt to level up a skill. So I accidentally leveled that up there, but typically your maxing order is going to be Worpal, Feint, Shadow Dash. If Shadow Dash scaled in taunt duration with level, then a lot. Like, that would be definitely like a second max for him. So right here, Tryndamere is getting just a little bit out of position for a lack of ward coverage that he had in top lane. So he does end up paying the price for that, and I'm going to be able to get all this CS for free. And we're just going to be continually pushing. Now with Shen, you want to always try and be conscious of how you're pushing. So typically you want to push to about here. So this minion wave is the last minion wave I'm going to want to push until I start deciding to roam, or I just decide to ult somewhere, you know? Because right now I'm ahead in laning phase. I just go ahead. I'm ahead in laning phase, so I want to take the turret early and try and see if I can roam anywhere. Right here, just checking around the map using my F keys. Instead of F1, F2, F3, F4, a cool thing that you guys can do is if you have something key binded to your mouse, or if you're used to using 1, 2, 3, 4 on your item slot numbers, if you go ahead and keybind Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, Alt 4 to correspond with the F1 keys instead, it's a lot less of a stretch to go from your QWER to the F1 keys. Right now I have a Logitech G602, great mouse by the way, but I have all 6 of my item slots key binded to my mouse, so I can just go ahead and hit Alt and then whatever button corresponds to my numbers on my mouse. So that's a cool way of looking around the map for those of you guys who don't really use the F keys. It's something that you guys should get into the habit of doing. It's a really good tool for you. So right now, you see, because I pushed the wave to there, the minion wave is piling up right here, and I'm going to get a lot of free CS under a turret. So you see it's going to stop right there, just out of turret range, and it's going to push back perfectly so that I can get basically unanswered CS. So right there I go ahead and taunt in to get my Sunfire Cape damage off on the cannon minion so I don't miss it. So I'm going to be pushing out this wave. As you can see, all of this is just free CS that because I pushed the lane properly, I pushed to a certain point, went ahead and roamed. I went ahead and roamed and then came back to top lane, and all of it was right under turret. So that's a good way to push, roam, be effective, and then be able to safely CS once that wave goes back to your turret. So as you CS, always make sure, keep an eye on the map. Like I said, Alt 1, 2, 3, and 4 so that you guys can keep good eyes on the map, keep good tabs. So right here, since they are pushing mid lane in, I have a feeling that Tryndamere will be responding to that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, instead of roaming after this point, I'm going to go ahead and push. So be conscious of the map, be conscious of who is around you. Dragon is up. So Skarner is a good jungler. If he does break out of mid lane right here, he's going to want to try and make a rotation down to Dragon, but we do have control of that, so that's not going to be an option for him. So all I know is he was stuck in the mid lane, so I don't think he's going to be roaming top to me. But I did have a feeling that the second Tryndamere cleared out that mid minion wave, he was going to be coming to me. So I went ahead and just backed off of that. So I'm going to come in here and try and do Wraiths. It's warded, so Jinxie Poo is going to try and steal my blue Wraith. So what I go ahead and do is, once I see the beam, I just walk away, stop, and she's going to give me a nice little leash on my blue Wraith. So as you can see, our wave top, it's starting to push towards us again. We have two options. We can either go to Wolves, White, and then top, and potentially miss some CS, or we can just go ahead and go top, because the way Tryndamere is pushing right now, I know that that lane is going to be pushing abnormally fast, so I'm not going to have the same amount of time as I normally would. So I go ahead and taunt through the wall and just get into lane and just start trading with him. Now Tryndamere with a level 11 is not going to be doing too much more than a Tryndamere with only a level 6 ult, so I'm not really too concerned about that. I am keeping eyes on his level though, and keeping eyes on his maximization as far as items are concerned. So right here I'm just kind of dancing around waiting for the CS. I don't want to necessarily push it until I'm sure of where he's going. Right here I see that the Ahri and the Diana are taking him on, so I'm going to go ahead and I scrolled over just to see if it was all good, make sure I don't have to ult, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to push this lane out. So a lot of Shen's pushing and roaming comes from standard map knowledge that you need to have. Again, I hope that I think I've been giving you guys a good amount of detail as to how to push effectively and have the wave push back to you. You guys can actually go back and see at the point I leave this lane earlier on in this tape. Okay, so right here I pushed a little much. I could have pushed a little bit less, but right here I go ahead and ult to the Tristana. Now Tristana, the shield is done. I don't know why she came back in like that. However, you know, it is what it is. So as we push here, I'm checking out my lanes. We have really no kill potential right here in the mid lane. Like, we can farm out this wave, but ultimately we're not going to be able to pick up too much as far as like turrets are concerned at this point. Just because we have no idea of where Skarner is. We know Tryndamere top lane, but everyone is in the mid lane defending. So a wise decision was, instead of everyone, you know, grouping up in mid lane, the Ahri's doing a good job. She's roaming down to the bot lane to pick up all that farm. I'm gonna go ahead and TP top lane so that I can pick up all the CS that we prepped for it to come back to us. Zyra, don't know why she's going that way, but not optimal for her. If you guys don't have any vision, try not to face check any place, especially as a support. If you're trying to roam as a support, don't roam into a Tryndamere or don't roam into a top laner like that, because it's just typically bad because you don't know what's going to happen. So right here, I'm keeping control of my wave. Right here, I'm going to push this last wave, and then I'm going to look to roam. So Tryndamere does pop up here, so I know that that's going to decrease my roam time significantly. So I'm going to be looking around the map, seeing where I can make plays and things like that. I know my TP and my ultimate are down, so any kind of kill potential that I have is going to be on a catch out. Morgana walks over a ward, so I'm going to try and go into the bot half of the jungle and see if we can pick up a kill there. I know that Skarner's dead, so I really have no threat of walking into the jungle because Tryndamere's top. I see both people bot lane, and Skarner's dead. So there's really no downside to going into the jungle. But as you guys can see, here's where my footage ended up failing. I know it says 41 minutes, but that is a bug, so don't worry about that. But after this point, they ended up surrendering, so we ended up going 0-0-4 as Shen. Some items that I like to build after I get my Sunfire Randuin's was just a good pickup because I knew that Tryndamere's going off attack speed, so it's going to slow him down. A Wit's End is a good pickup for Shen. If you want to go ahead and pick that up too, that's going to be a good amount of damage for you just with the magic procs that you're going to be getting. But just build tanky as Shen. That's typically what I like to do. If you take Shen mid lane, you can go for more of like an AP hybrid Shen. Rushing a Gunblade. Gunblade does really well on Shen for mid lane if you guys can play that right. It's really fun, but I mean, maybe I'll make a guide for it one day. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I hope it was informational, and if I left anything out or if you guys have any questions, feel free to post it in the comment section down below, and as always, I will be responding to every single comment you guys go ahead and post. So without anything else to say on this topic, this has been your LOL support, and I am out of here.